Hello, everyone. I am so excited for this week. We're actually bringing in a guest, having an amazing G-Fit conversation. And this one is very, very special in my heart because we're bringing in somebody who's preparing for a show. And as all of you know, or maybe you don't know and you're just landing here, I competed for 10 years from the NPC up to the IFBB. And truly, my competition years were where I laid my solid foundation. So I'm excited to just join forces and hands and hugs with this girl as she goes down this competition journey. But her journey doesn't start here. We started years ago before she even decided to start competing. So this is a very special podcast for us today. We're going to bring in my youngest guest that I've ever had on, Danyelle. So Danyelle, when you're ready, come on in. Welcome to the show. Hey girl,
Hello. Hello, everyone.
how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so good. It's just been so fun to watch you. So I'm excited to bring some of this amazing conversation to the girls. But first of all, I said this before I started the recording. Did you drop weight today? Because you look amazing.
Thank you. I think I did, and I had a carb. So yesterday was one of my carb days, so I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling light. We actually have check-ins well, I'm going to send them tonight. Tomorrow we'll do all the things. But yeah,
You're
I think I
feeling
did
good.
a little
Oh my
bit.
gosh. You know what I love is that every time I see you, because we talk a lot on Marco Polo and we're always in connection, there's like, it's just a different version. I'm like, how's she gonna be today? But you know what's amazing is it always comes up to like, maybe you'll have like, a little bit of a challenge in your journey. And then the next Marco's like, I nailed it. I'm here. I'm back. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. So yeah, today I see an amazing, beautiful version of you. So
Mhm.
happy best day ever.
Yes. Happy Friday.
I know, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Okay, so first of all, before we get into the conversation, just talk to everyone a little bit about where you're from, just a little bit about your backstory, your journey, how you started. You're only 28 years old. When did you start working out? Like, when did you even get the interest in fitness?
So I am from Las Vegas, Nevada. I've always been kind of active. I was an athlete in high school. I played volleyball for, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years. And then I went to college. Didn't play sports in college. I kind of gave that up and I got into, the partying and like the going out. And then I was like, wait a second, I need to work out. What am I doing? Because, the freshman 15, all the things. And then I would say towards the end of college, so like my junior, senior year, I really started to take fitness kind of seriously. And from there, I kind of just blossomed and I've been working out it ever since. It's been a really long journey, but yeah, it's kind of when I started like taking it serious, I would say.
I love that. And I've been a part of a lot of that, which has been so fun to see kind of the evolution. I probably got the tail end of the party version of you, but that's
Yeah.
where I started too, just I mean, being young and having fun and then starting to incorporate fitness and just kind of where that kind of leads. So that's so amazing. And okay, I want to talk about this is a very important topic because we've been working together for over 4 years, and you came out to visit me. It was so fun about, I don't know, what was it? Like, was it April? It's been several months. But we were sitting down at lunch and we were kind of talking about the show, and you're like, okay, what's it going to be? And I said to you, okay, Danyelle, what percentage from 0 to 100 are you giving right now? And this is just living the lifestyle, like doing what we do, wanting to transform your body. And what
Mhm.
did you say?
I think I said 85%.
Bingo. Yes, you did. You said 85%. And I said, when you start a show prep, and I just want to also say, like, for those of us who are watching or listening that are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and like, I'm not even thinking about a show, like, this is for you too, because all of these lessons that I learned stemmed from the competition days. So, a show, a challenge, something that you're going to commit to and see through is really the overarching theme of this whole conversation. But I said, okay, Danyelle, if you're 85, you're going to have to be 100.
Hmm.
Okay. And so now that you've been in this and you're like in the middle of the prep, you're like on the other side of it. What does that feel like for you? Do you see now that difference from being 85 to now being 100? What does that feel like? Can you talk to me about that?
Oh, yeah. I definitely feel the difference 100%. Um, how do I even explain it? It's just, I don't want to say it's like going from 0 to 100, but it literally, I felt the biggest shift. I noticed changes in my body way faster. I noticed how my cravings, at the beginning, my cravings were like spiked, but then they like mellowed out. And now I'm like loving my food. Like I don't have the cravings. Like it going, how do I explain it, Gina? Like going to 100, it's hard at first, but now it just feels very, like I can maintain this for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. To go to 100 and say you can maintain it. So
Yeah, I
what
think,
what were you doing at 85 and then now what are you doing at 100? Because okay, let's say before you even started this journey, you're like, "Okay, I want my body to budge. Like I don't really," and you're like, "I'm following the plan. I'm doing all the things." And now you see that was the 85% version and now you're seeing like if you want to really make those changes, you have to make different choices, right? And that's like what brings you up to the 100. So like what are those different choices that maybe you're making now at the 100 that you weren't making at the 85%?
I would say the excuses aren't there anymore, if I'm being honest. Like when I was, let's say when I was 85%, it's like, oh, I really want to go get this like blackberry latte on a Saturday, right? It's like that was me being in my 85%. And now it's like, no, like you're sticking to your plan. We have goals to hit, we have things to do. Like it's not happening. So
Wow.
the mental switch is just telling myself, you're strong, you're capable, you can do this. You don't need that blackberry latte type of thing.
And do you know what was that shift? Because I know that feeling. It's like you're kind of living your life, and then all of a sudden, I know when I was competing, it'd be like, okay, Monday is go day, and it was literally like a light bulb. It was like, okay, and before it's go day, you're kind of like, I don't know, and then it's like, boom, you're just on, right? Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
100%. At first, I almost felt, if I'm being honest, at first I felt like I wasn't going to be able to go to 100%. I was very scared. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, the confidence wasn't there. And then every single day, I would say, like, let's say day one, week one, I just made the choice to be like, no, I'm going to do this and this is how it's going to flow. And then you get used to it and your confidence builds. And then saying no becomes easier. And then it becomes your lifestyle, your routine. And it just works and it flows. And it's so much easier than what I actually thought it was.
Wow. That is so incredible for you to say that, Danyelle, because you don't know any different. So it's beautiful to see it from my side because I've seen it from all different walks and journeys of people working with different people who are like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible." You know, I mean, like I'm in it for the show, but like I can't wait to eat and like all the things. And for you to say that this is doable and that this is like a lifestyle for you is amazing because that's really what we want to create, and that's that's my style of coaching is like really trying to, yes, get you in the best shape of your life, but at the same time create these lifestyle habits that are going to be with you forever so you don't have what most competitors have, which is that crazy rebound after a show because they've been so deprived and have been so overly ridiculously strict to then where it's just like anything goes afterwards. So it's amazing, and that just gives me so much joy for you to say that this is something that you feel. I mean, obviously, we're going to tone things down, but for you to say that this is something that you can carry on for the rest of your life.
It's funny because my coworkers, they ask me every day. Actually, two coworkers today were like, "Are you ready? Like, how many more days until your show so you could start eating like snacks with us and lunch with us?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have about like 5 more weeks ish." But like honestly, like I'm okay. Like I'm gonna end my show and I'm probably still gonna eat the same things. I'm still gonna come with my turkey and my chicken and I'm still gonna enjoy it. Yeah, like I love it. It's such a it's a lifestyle change and I'm like here for it, if, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and it's given you a lot of structure, wouldn't you say? Like your meal prep game, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
meal prep game is like fire.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could like show a picture of it right now, like just so everyone could see. It's and you know what? Like Sundays, people can look at it like a hassle, but I love it because Sunday it's just like I reset, I set my meals up for the week, I put everything in my fridge, and then Monday morning I grab my lunch bag and I head out the door and I put everything in the fridge when I get to work and everything's done and set. And it's like all my meals are there and they're delicious and they're good and It's top notch.
Oh, so good. So good. Okay, so before we dive into some more juicy goodness on food and training and all fun things,
Mhm.
what is your why? I know that when like so Danielle also does words of the year, it's something we do here at GFit. Like what's your word? What's your theme of the year? And your word is solitude. And to me, that is like the most best way to say self-love and learning to love yourself in yourself with no extra anything to make you happy but yourself. So can you explain a little bit about that? And then also like what is your true why for one, why you wanted to step into this journey?
So yeah, like you just said, my word was solitude. And this year, I truly just wanted to change my life. I was tired of making excuses for myself. I was tired of depending on other people. I was tired of wishing to become this version of myself. And I was like, not to be vain, I was just like, screw everyone else. I'm focusing on me this year and I'm going to do what's best for me. So that's kind of my why, I would say. And also, I feel like over the years working with you, I've really learned that I value health. And I really just wanted to tackle this for myself and just become the best possible version of myself, mentally, physically, emotionally. And this is so much more than just like physical, right? Like this is about your mental. And we've had so many conversations about this. Like this is such a mental game that like this is affecting every part of my life. So I just want to grow in that aspect.
So good. And would you say that now, like your confidence is building in terms of you just truly, like, would you say a year ago you loved yourself as much as you love yourself today?
Absolutely not. No.
So
And it's crazy because we've been doing what week are we on? We're on week 11, I think 11.
who's
And
counting?
counting, over the span of 11 weeks, the difference I feel about myself is insane. Like insane. I feel confident in so many different areas and it's funny like I not to get too deep, but like I was never
Go
okay
deep,
being
girl. We like
alone.
deep.
I was never okay being alone. I didn't want to go. I would always tell you the upstairs gym was the playground. I didn't like going to the playground. I was always a class girly. I wanted to go to like my CrossFit classes or a yoga class. And I just built the confidence to go upstairs, put my headphones on, lock in, and just enjoy my right now, like 2 hours at the gym. But you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just been great. And the past 11 weeks has just like changed my life completely. And it's the craziest thing ever.
Totally. So what I love is that I do challenges now because like after you have kids and you get married and your life gets busy, the challenges that I do now, because to be honest, I mean, I never want to say never, but I also like to be realistic. To go back to the journey that you're on right now is something that is not realistic in my life right now. And that's why I said, Danielle, you have no kids, you have no significant other, like go do this is your time to do this, right? So the challenges that I create, like kind of mimic that in a different way, like the summer squat challenge, all these little challenges, because at the end of the day, the bigger arcing theme here is the confidence that built in the past 11 weeks is truly for showing up for herself, not letting her excuses get in the way, staying committed. And are you seeing that now? How like just committing to something and seeing it through, how powerful that is in building your confidence along the way?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think people struggle because they don't know how to rip that band-aid off, I guess you could say. They don't know how to just start, but once you start, you are going to feel a shift within 1 week of doing it. 1000%. It's scary, it could suck, you might feel silly and goofy, but once you commit to it, you're gonna eventually just like love the process. And I actually think I told you not too long ago, I was on the Stairmaster and I was getting emotional because I was like, wait, this is gonna end in a couple weeks. Like this is gonna not be a thing anymore. And I've learned to love it so much. And
Yeah.
once you're in it, it just opens up so many doors for you. So
Yeah, this is, and I, when she told me that on our Marco Polo Connect, we were chatting and she always fills me in with where she's at. She's like, oh my gosh, on the step mill or on the treadmill, totally just bawling. And I'm like, you're normal. Yep. I know where you're at. Like I had so many of those emotions because you're literally just like full of so many emotions. And you're just like, I'm freaking doing this. Like I had
yeah.
so many of those at like 11:30 at night because I had like an event I had to be at, but yet I still had to get in my sessions and I would be like, nope, I'm doing it. And I'm sitting there like, I can't believe that I'm here and I'm doing this and I'm not letting those excuses get in my way. It's just, it's so powerful. So I love that you're falling in love with it and this, you're seeing that this could be a lifestyle. And one of my mantras is hard, easy. And this is just such a perfect example. And we talked about it the other day because I let Danielle have a little bit of a refuel recently, her only one in 11 weeks. What was it, Danielle?
In and out, and it was divine. Oh my God. It was
Yeah,
so
in and out. I was like, okay, you're doing it. We need a refuel to just spike up that metabolism. I just know exactly where you're at. And
good.
afterwards, I said, I was like, and she's like, I said, do you see how? She's like, but I want to get right back on. And I said, do you see how now, like carrying like this lifestyle over to where you train hard during the week, you meal prep, you like create this way of living, and then the weekend you get to have a fun food. And then do you see how then, you get to like prep on Sunday again, and then we start again on Monday? Like, do you see how this can roll into your everyday life? And you were like, yeah, I can.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, in the past, I would say I'd have a refeed or a fun meal, and then I would be like, okay, tomorrow I want to eat this, and then I'm going to eat that. Now it's like I got that meal and I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Now I can just like hop back on and like do my thing and get back into the flow of things. And it was so easy. I woke up, wasn't bloated. I felt good about myself. It was perfect. And I can totally see that transition of being on track, having a fun meal, and then getting right back on. But in the past, when I was 85%, it was like, oh, well, I had In and Out, but tomorrow morning I kind of want to eat Chick-fil-A breakfast. You know what I mean?
So good. That's so good. And that's the hard easy because it's like you're doing the hard right now and you're in it. And this is, you're falling in love with it, but it's hard, right? You're waking up every single day, no excuses. And then once we, power through, just like when you're on a challenge and you're doing it every single day, then on the other side, looking back, you're like, okay, like this is easy. I only have 1 week of just being dedicated, loving my foods. I get my refuel. This is cake after doing it for 15 weeks, right?
And it's like a reward. It's like the end of the week reward, and that's what makes it even more special. So, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's talk food. We all love food, 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 food. So what have you, obviously we all have cravings that come on, and when you're in mode, this is where a lot of my simple creative recipes, my nori wraps, my zucchini loaves, many of you who are listening are like, yep, 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 know all those came during this time because I was craving something and then I made it the healthy way, or I just wanted to keep my food fun. So talk to me about cravings. What are you doing to bypass them? And then also, like, have you come up with any fun, creative recipes along the way?
So my number one craving, surprisingly, is just like a big juicy cinnamon roll. Like that's all I want. Like that's the only thing I think about. Everyone's like, "What are you craving the most? Is it pasta? Is it pizza? Is it burgers?" And I'm like, "I'm not even craving any of that. I just want a cinnamon roll." So the one thing that I've created, which you kind of like helped me with this a little bit because it was in my menu for the week, but I got lazy. And the meal was a protein pancake, I believe, with egg whites or whatever. And what I did is I took, I think my
It was
protein
coconut
powder,
flour and almond flour. It was the coconut almond pancake, I think, right?
yes, it was coconut flour, almond meal, protein powder, egg whites. So what I did is I can't remember the protein powder, like vanilla oatmeal cookie and then cinnamon powder, combined all of that together, and I microwaved it. Oh, I put some water in there too. Microwaved it and just like mixed it, and it became like this fluff. And it literally just tasted like a cinnamon roll in a bowl. And I was like, this is my meal I want every single day. I couldn't even believe that I liked it because when you think about it, when you think like, oh, protein powder and egg whites in the microwave, like that sounds nasty. No, don't knock it till you try it. It is amazing. And that is like my one creation that I will probably never get rid of.
Well, and just yesterday, your lunch that you were like, I could eat this every single day.
Oh
Well,
my God. Wait, which one was it? There's so many there. I love all of them. What was it?
I
Oh
think it was rice, and then there was chicken, and then you used the Frank sauce.
yes, it was I had fish, I had cod, white rice, and then I think asparagus, and I just put sugar-free G Hughes sweet chili sauce on it. Oh my God, incredible.
Uh,
Incredible.
so for those of you that don't like fish, you need to try this one. And that sauce, I did look at the back because we're going to talk about that in a second here. And it is approved and it was free and so good. So another winning meal.
Yes.
And it's funny because I know because you're like, you see other people's preps. I've warned her, don't go too far down the rabbit hole of, preps and stuff because you're going to see people, which she said to me, like, why are their meals looking like that and my meals look like this? Because mine look amazing and that looks disgusting. And I'm like, girl, because we don't diet like that. Okay. We just don't. And so I love that you're saying how you love every single meal because most people are used to like, even if you're not competing, when somebody says diet at 40, 50, 60, they are thinking broccoli and chicken, right? They're like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-mm. Oh, one of my other favorites, 110% is a big salad. I've always loved salads, but like all the veggies, oh my gosh, give it to me. And then the famous G-Fit sauce that you showed me, I don't know if it's a secret, but it's
No, it's
basically a
not.
Dijon, a sweet,
Mustard.
sweet Dijon mustard. Oh my gosh, I could eat that for the rest of my life. I'm not even kidding. It's so delicious.
Oh my God, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, because that's what we're really creating is this lifestyle, and it's just so great to create it in a prep. Like I love it so much. And you're my first girl that I've prepped in a long time. So it's
Yeah,
like to see it like come back, it brings back all my feels. So I'm just beyond excited for you because I see where you are now, and then I see where you're headed. And because you're working on your solitude, and we've talked about this before, because the old 85 version of Danyelle, 2 years ago was like, maybe putting herself aside and, like the dating and the this and the that. And I'm like, we got to focus on you. And then once that's solid, just watch out because that person you're going to attract that right person. And
100%.
I already see it. And I already have the invitation at the wedding.
Here, front row.
Excited. I'm like, yes, but truly, it's like because it's coming. You're like in such a you're anything that you bring in now is coming from a confident place versus you, not confident and maybe choosing wrongly just to fill something. But you're like, no, I'm full, girl, baby. Like whatever comes is going to now add to me, not fill me, which is just so beautiful.
Right.
Okay, so great. So, I want to talk about real quick the seasonings because this is just like a lesson that you learned along the way. And I know, I mean, a lot of people I shared it because people forget when they're looking at nutrition facts. When I was in prep, I was like, it's 000. Yes. I can't believe it's not butter. The minute I saw zero everything, I'm like pouring that on everything. And then something was like, this is just too good to be true. And of course, I do my research and I'm like, oh, wow, that whole thing had like 90 grams of fat and 900 calories. Good thing I caught it when I did, but it's because of the marketing. If it's less than zero point 0.5 grams of fat, they can mark it as zero. But that's for somebody who's going spray, 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 spray. And I don't know about you, but I see all zeros, I'm pouring, right? So
Yeah.
same thing, you're like, okay, I love this. Like I've got this cheesy, whatnot. And before I even said anything, I'm like, this is sounding way too good to be true. Let me see that bottle. And sure enough, the first ingredient was truly Parmesan cheese.
Mhm.
So talk to me about that experience.
That broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie, that one hurt a little bit. I was like, no, they tricked me. Zero, it says 0 calories, like zero everything. And then you're like, read the ingredients, tell me what they say. And I was like, oh, they tricked me. Like no one looks at the ingredients. I didn't look at the ingredients. And honestly, it was really hard for me. I was really upset about it. But I'm glad that I learned that lesson because now I know going into it.
Yeah,
Now,
and you
yes,
replaced it with your Franks or whatever that the sweet one you were just talking about. Was it Franks? What is the brand?
G Hughes,
Oh, GQs. Okay.
the sugar-free sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, G Hughes.
And you replace it. Like I never even heard another peep from you. Like I missed that. Like you're just like, okay, out with that, in with this,
Yep.
like just moving on. So
Yep.
you also learned, now to like look at the ingredients. And this is honestly, this is the 100% because at the 85%, we weren't checking ingredients like we are now. We're just, so this
Mm-hmm.
is big. That was a big, like huge lesson. So that was great. Okay, speaking of lessons, what are some of there's so many. I know you're probably like, I don't even know where to start, but
Yeah.
what comes to mind? Like, what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned now that you know for sure are planted in you forever?
Trust the process is one. A huge one. So I don't know if you want to dive deep into like my journey specifically, but I would say so when we started this prep, I went in and did an in-body scan, and just to kind of get like a starting number. And we were 8 weeks in, and my weight hadn't changed much. And I was like really beating myself up over this because going into it, I had all of these expectations and what I thought was going to happen, whatever. And I was getting really upset. I was like, what is happening? Am I broken? Like, what is wrong with me? Because I was checking all the boxes. I was doing my cardio. I was hitting my meals. I was working out. I was pushing myself. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? So then I was like, I had a conversation with you and I was like, I'm going to go do another DEXA scan for my own sanity. Went and did it. I dropped 10 pounds of fat, which was insane. And I gained 5 pounds of muscle. So that's why my weight wasn't changing. And I didn't even realize it. Like my body is truly changing from the inside. It's going to come out eventually, but like it was changing from the inside. And it taught me to just kind of be patient and trust the process. As impatient as most people are, like sometimes you just have to sit back and be like, it's doing its thing. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. As far as like look wise is what I'm talking about. But that was probably a huge lesson that I learned.
Ah, that's so good. And I had that written down because I wanted to talk about that because people get so stuck on the scale. And that,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, for you to learn at 28 years old, like, screw the scale. It's like, how?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Those results were phenomenal. And I kept telling you, from the inside out, it's happening. Like, the changes are happening. You just have to trust it. But this is where somebody would give up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even now, right? This is where somebody's like, it's not working. Like, I'm out. Meanwhile, it's working behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember just feeling, how do I even say it? Like I just felt like I wanted to give up and I just was broken. I was like, this is not for me. Competing is not for me. Something's wrong with my body. I need to go to the doctor. No, none of that. It's just my body is moving at its own pace and it's working. You just
Oh,
got to
it's
be
so good.
patient.
It's so good, Danielle. Like, and this is even for people like, I have several women now that are in perimenopause, postmenopause, and it's kind of same thing. They're like, my body's broken, like it's not working. And I've actually used you a lot because I'm like, because I you have not gone off track. Like every little thing that you've done everything perfect. Like I don't use that word lightly. You've done everything. And I
Mhm,
was that person when I that's what it takes to be 100%, right? And you are, we're 11 weeks in and you're doing everything perfect, but these people are like, not having perfect weeks and they're still expecting results and I'm like, okay, this girl is crushing it every day doing the same thing and her weight was not budging either. But this is what it's going to take and then to see that on the DEXA was like
mhm,
this is exactly that. It's like it's working behind the scenes. You just have to trust it. Your body is not broken. Like
mhm,
it works. You just have to trust it. And I think that for you to learn that now, oh, it's just so beautiful. Like for you to you'll use this down the road. I know you can't think yourself in menopause, but like you'll remember these lessons forever. And like, no, I'm just gotta trust the process. Like
mhm,
I'm not broken. I can manipulate if I focus and really like taking that step back to be like my Q mantra, am I really? Like that was a
mhm,
conversation we had at lunch was like, am I okay, I'm not seeing the results. Okay, Danielle, like how committed are you really? And you said 85%. And that was
mhm.
honest, but like you have to take that look at yourself and be like, am I really doing all the things? And because you're like, I'm checking all these boxes, I am, then that trust really kicks in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another really big lesson to all of this is just like you got to be a little disciplined because motivation's not always going to be there. And your mind is very powerful and when you train that muscle, you're everything's just going to be better. And I'm
Mm,
still learning. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. Like I still struggle. There are mornings where I wake up and I am like, I don't want to go downstairs and do my cardio. By the way, everyone, I wake up at 3:45 in the morning to do cardio. So like it's hard for me. But there are mornings where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. But then I tell myself in my mind, this is where I push. This is where I have to push because this is what's going to make me better. This is what's going to make the difference. And once you like learn that and it clicks in your mind, it becomes, I don't want to say easier, but it makes it,
manageable.
yeah, manageable. That's the best word.
Yeah, because, and I was going to ask you, what are you telling yourself when you get out of bed in the morning? So thank you for saying that. Because this we're not saying like, oh, every like Danielle's like in it. She has like she's just like has no things that come through. Just the other day, let's talk about your D day. The Marco that you sent me in the morning of your day and what it felt like, and you were doubting, the doubt was strong. Like the doubts come in a lot in prep, especially when you know you got to be on stage in a bikini, right? It's like they're coming in, and it's she's continuing to just beat down that voice or that little person or whatever the thing is that you want that's telling you you can't do it, right? And that person came in strong for you. What was it on Wednesday, I believe it was. And the Marco that you sent me, and then the choices you made to flip that thing around was
Mhm.
incredible. So let's talk about that D-Day and what you did and how you overcame those thoughts that were basically telling you you're not good enough, you're not meant for this.
We're talking about the day where I didn't go to work, right? The next day. Okay, so the night before, I was just having all of these doubts like, I am not going to be where I need to be come show day, like just beating myself up. And I will say, Gina tells me not to watch YouTube videos because it can really mess with you, but I watch them anyways because I don't know, I like want people to relate to. So I just was in like a hole of watching YouTube videos. And that's where my doubt started coming in. Of course, I sent Gina a super long text message about, all of the things I was feeling. And then I stayed up late and I woke up the next morning. I was like, you know what? I am not going to let this roll into my next day, my day today. I'm going to take the day off from work. I'm going to regroup, regather, go do my cardio, get my meals in, go to a new, I actually went to a new gym for a new environment, for a fresh mindset. And I actually met a couple people, which was really nice. Like I made a new friend and I just reset and I was like, I feel amazing. Like that was so needed because I needed a day to just reset and get my mind back on track. And then I just picked up that momentum again and I ran with it. So it
Oh,
was,
good. It's a
it
D-Day.
was,
We coined it, Danielle.
it definitely was a D day. It was amazing. I know, I don't want to say like, how do I want to word it? Like, it's not super easy to take a day off of work to just go and do that, but like that was very important to me and I was like, this is worth it and I'm going to do it, and I did it.
But you know what though, and I can second this. You haven't taken a day off work. This wasn't just like an excuse moment. This was a listening. This was a self-love moment of like, I need a me day. Like I feel like I just need a recharge. Because you even said to me, I feel guilty. I don't want to take, but I just know I need it. And I mean, even now, like taking a day, whether it's work or a workout, like knowing when to take a day off is powerful. So you're not that it's not like you're every day like, oh, I'm just gonna take it off, take it. No, 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 no. This is like a one thing, and you listen to your body. And that's what you're really gaining through this is like you're really listening to like, okay, what's an excuse versus what is like my body talking to me like the day that you didn't even hear your alarm and we talked about
Oh,
it and I was like, no, that was not an excuse, girl. Your body was like, you need to sleep.
yeah. I was just dead. I was like, I didn't even wake up. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah. Yeah, that was your body talking to you. And
Yes.
I just wanted to highlight that because you change up your atmosphere. And again, that's one of the mantras that competing or not, like when you're feeling that funk, sometimes just changing your atmosphere. And you did this on your own. You went to a different gym. You went and just completely took your, because sometimes we're just doing the same thing and the monotony can get very boring, whether you're show or you're, doing what most of us listening here are doing. Like changing up your atmosphere can go from you feeling just like kind of stuck and just feeling blah to like going and like all of a sudden you have new inspiration, new machines, new friends. Like the newness can really re-inspire you. And it literally took you just getting yourself out of where you were and going somewhere different. And that's huge.
The
Another,
refresh is very much needed. I would say it's very much needed from time to time because it just like sparks a new fire in you. And I just think it's very healthy. So
yeah, so good. And and now it doesn't even have to be the detours or the changing of the atmosphere. Literally, it can be going to a new gym. It could be literally sometimes when I'm driving home, I will just like go a different way. Like it's like tiny things that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I didn't even see that there. Like it's just change is so important, especially when you're in the midst of doing like what you're doing, because it can be very monotonous, right? You're like day in, day out. So
Yeah.
that was huge. Speaking of meeting new friends, I want to talk about relationships for a second because I know that whenever somebody starts doing something for themselves, and I always warn anybody that comes to me to change their life in any way, whatever stage they're in, I'm always like, okay, I'm just warning you. You are going to separate from, you're going to have some different relationship things that come up because you're so focused, and a lot of people, whatever, you're going to have people that support you 100%. And
Mhm.
some people that just turn on you. And oftentimes, the people that support you, you're like, wow, I didn't realize it. The people that turn on you, all the things. So have you noticed that? And yeah, how's it going?
As far as like friendships, I would say.
Well, just relationships in general. Like, are you noticing like some people are like super supportive and then other people are like doubting you? Even people at the gym that, may be like looking at you or saying things or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I definitely. So, as far as people at the gym, 100%, like people, so I did CrossFit, right? I was very much into CrossFit before we decided to do a prep. And, comments can be made, and people will have strong opinions. Um, and I don't want to say the relationship hasn't changed. It's just you notice that people feel very strongly about decisions that you make. And that at first it kind of affected me a little bit. And I was like sad because I was like, wait, I'm so excited about this. And I want everyone to be excited, but a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
But I just kind of got to the point where I was like, F it, like it's fine. This is my path, and I'm gonna do whatever I want. And there's always gonna be like outside noise, people having comments to make, but I'm just like, whatever. Like,
And finding your community is so important because like you said, and even in the GFIT community, it's like just having that group of people that get you, because a lot of people, I just posted this post on my story just about basically like people that don't understand that you meal prep, or people that don't understand that you're consistent. Like they think you're crazy and you're weird and you're all the things. And so having those people that support you is just so, so important in your journey.
mm-hmm. And I feel like this is my opinion, but I feel like a lot of people are judgy when it comes to people getting into fitness and like really focusing on themselves. Like the first reaction is to be like she's doing this type of thing. And that really affected me and made me really sad. I was like, I wanted to share more and more, but I also felt like there was judgment. And I just like, I feel like I've been really quiet about it. But I've talked to you before about this. Like, I really want to vlog everything and like post it. And my confidence is slowly building up more and more. So eventually I'll be able to like share it. But yeah, the outside noise can be heavy at times for sure.
Yeah.
And even at first I can speak for my family, right? At first my family was like, you're gonna do a bikini competition, like they didn't know what to think of it. Not saying that they weren't supportive, but they were, when people think of bikini competition they think like you're gonna go on stage and show your body in a bikini. Like people don't really get it. And it's really hard to navigate that feeling at first.
Hmm.
But then when people start to see your dedication, your grind, you doing it every single day, they're like, hell yeah, keep going. Like I'm in your corner.
Hmm.
So at first it's a little hard, but then people kind of start to realize like, okay, like this is really cool.
Especially if you've had a history of maybe like, being 85% and then,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe being 90% and then being 70%, right? It's just like, I know like once people realize like, oh no, she's all in. Like that was, I mean, this took years. If you're finding that support already, that's so good. It took
Yeah.
so many years being with my family. Then they'd be like, still the comments, and you have to learn like they just don't get it. And then finally they kind of give up. They're like, wow, this isn't a phase. Like this is who she is. And that's also what's happening right now, Danyelle, is like another mantra I have is like I want to I am. And it's like you in this process, you've always wanted to be this person or to live this lifestyle. And And in this process of you doing what you're doing, it's going from I want to like an identity, like an I am, right? I mean, we are not like our bodies, our food, our preps, all the things, but at the end of the day, it's becoming who you are. And
Right.
so it will become easier and easier because you don't even think twice. You're like, well, yeah, it's Sunday, I meal prep. Like, yeah. And meal prep's gonna look different. Your meal prep, I'm just saying, girlfriend, like as life gets busier and get more complicated, it's gonna be like, okay, that like cinnamon roll dish, you're like, okay, I just gotta mix all together. I don't got time to cook, crock
Yeah.
pot all day. But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's still prepping, right? So what your prep looks like will always change. But at the end of the day, you know now, like I'm not just gonna go grab something at a drive-through. Like I'm gonna make the best decision and I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off of the comment you made about me just transitioning into the person that I'm becoming. My family kind of at first struggled. So I'm Italian. I want to preface by that. My mom loves to make a full spread of food. There's pastas, there's meat, there's antipasta, there's salads, there's all of the things, and I'm very used to that. I eat. I love to eat. I'm a foodie, right? So when I started doing my prep and I, bring my meals over and I bring my big Ninja Creamy with me everywhere and I bring my scale and I bring my dressings, my family looks at me and they're like, what the hell is wrong with her? Like, eat this
Want to
food.
squeeze you right now because I'm like, I get you, girl. I get you.
Like, eat this pasta, eat this. You can't have bread. What are you talking about? It's good for you. You can't have olive oil. Not saying that I can't have it. It's just not a part of my plan right now. And they're they laugh at me because I smell all their food and I get like I feel good, like I feel satiated after I smell it. And at first they looked at me crazy. Now they just like kind of love me for it. They're like, "Oh, Danielle's gonna bring her dressing." They laugh at me every single time, and it's just
It becomes a joke.
yeah. And it's just like the person that I'm becoming, and they're getting used to it. My mom's so cute. She'll be like, "I'll cook you chicken with no oil or no butter. Just come over and hang out with me." And I'm like, "Okay, mom, I'll be over."
Oh, trust me. That's how you know you've won because when they start almost like they'll make separate things like and you're not expecting that. Like you'll learn like we learn how to navigate. Like I'm always like just do your thing. I got this. Like I'll figure it out. But when they start like my sister-in-law, I'll never forget I saved the card at her wedding in on my plate, everyone else was because she had an Italian theme. She had, the pasta, this, that. On my plate said big ass salad with my name on it. And she had ordered, she special ordered me the salad. I didn't ask for it. I would have probably had the pasta, like whatever, like, you figure it out. But she like because they know how much that like that means to you, or like that's a part of your life and that's just who you are. So it's really cool to see that. And so that's amazing that you're already noticing it. And oh, I'm just so excited for you. Just
Yeah.
again, just like you're like a little mini me and the things that I did then really set me up for success. If I can only capture people younger. So it's like so fun to watch you blossom and to, see where this all unfolds. It's just oh, so good. So
I
good.
definitely feel like the bricks are being laid, if that makes sense. Like I am just growing and evolving into the person that I've always wanted to be. And it doesn't at first it doesn't have to. I think a lot of people complicate it. If you want to be that person, like it's just baby steps and you can eventually get there. And I just love all of the little things that I'm learning along the way, and my family's helping me as well now. So
Oh, that's so
yeah.
cute. Okay, well, this is perfect. Oh, I love how we're just like flowing into this. Because I had a question for you. You said in your last email, that you were reflecting on your journey and that you said if you could go back and talk to yourself before starting this journey, what advice would you give?
Do I want to go back to when I was in college or at the start of prep?
You told me in an email, you said if I could only go back. So whatever,
Okay.
whatever that lands, however that lands.
So what I was talking about is I wanted to go back to the girl I was when I was in college because that's when I was like my most depressed. That's when I gained the most weight. That's when I was trying to figure out what worked for me. And I struggled so much. I'll never forget the feeling I felt when I was getting into fitness and whatnot. And I just wish I could tell her that everything's going to be okay and nothing. comes as quick as you think it's going to come. Like it's going to take time, it's going to take dedication and discipline, and you're going to get there. Um, there's so many things I wish I could tell that version of myself. Like, don't beat yourself up. Like, just take it one step at a time. I wish I could help her with her nutrition, honestly, because I thought that I was eating super good, but I wasn't. I was doing all those crazy, like, yo yo diet things. Like, I think at one point for 6 months, I was like pescatarian. At one moment, or what was it, like 4 or 5 months, I was keto. And I just wish I could go back and like help her and guide her and tell her, like, you don't need to do all those things. Like, it's very simple. Like, just make sure you get your protein in and lift heavy, I guess. But
So good, Danielle. And just so everyone knows, Danielle is doing the same thing we do in terms of carb cycling. Like it's the same stuff. It's just she's 100%, So it's like there's no, it's pretty simple. It's high protein. We don't remove macro. We're not removing carbs. We're not removing fats. We're eating all the things. It's just strategic. And when you
mhm.
go from 85 to 100, that's where you start to see the changes. So I love that. And speaking of I want to talk about training real quick before we wrap up. So you did do a lot of CrossFit, and I've always it's so funny. Let's just have this raw, real conversation. So Danielle did a lot of CrossFit. I would always throw in the GFit circuits. I would always kind of throw in my little piece, and I don't really think she did much of the training. Let's talk about it. And I want to also talk about now that you are 100%, what's that like to like really focus on mind muscle connection and kind of doing it the GFit way.
So I will say I did do a shoulder day. I want to defend myself. I did do one shoulder day, one of Gina's G-Fit workouts. But going from CrossFit to our plan, I'm so okay. So when it came to CrossFit, I was so used to my body hurting, and I was dying and drenched in sweat, and I couldn't breathe, and it hurt. And I was like, yes, I'm getting the best workout ever. And then I went to our plan, the G Fit way. And at first, I kind of felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like because I'm used to dying, right? CrossFit, if you know anything about CrossFit, like you can't breathe. You're on the floor basically crying. And I was like, Gina, am I doing this right? Like, am I lifting heavy enough? And I'm not super sweaty. Like, my calories aren't through the roof. And she's like, nope, just keep going. Like, this is the G-Fit way. You're gonna see. And over a period of time, I think it was, how many weeks was it? Maybe like 4 weeks. My strength went through the roof just by doing our plan, pushing myself each and every day, upping my weight little by little, and the
Focusing
G,
on mind muscle connection.
yeah, the mind muscle connection, like really focusing on whatever the focus is that day, whether it's shoulders, legs, whatever. Just really focusing on that. And my muscle development has changed so much over this past, I would say, 11 weeks compared to me doing CrossFit for what was it, like 2 years, year and a half? Like insane results. So,
And you have the DEXA to prove it. That's what I love.
yeah, 100%. The DEXA told me, like, hey, girl, you gained 5 pounds of muscle, go you. So,
So crazy. That is so impressive, honestly. That is amazing. And I love that we have the results to prove it. Because a lot of it's just like people, because it's true. Like if I'm not dying, if I'm not sore the next day, like I didn't work hard enough, right? So people just push harder, harder, harder. They have injuries, which you've had about your back injury. How's that been lately?
good. I just honestly, when I hurt myself, I just like lowered my weight and I just really focused on the stretch and that mind muscle connection. And honestly, so much better. When I was doing CrossFit, my back hurt every single time I worked out, every single time without doubt. Now I'm solid. Like it's so much better.
Oh my gosh, so great, Danielle. I'm just so proud of you. I can't wait to squeeze you. Okay, so let's just wrap. Okay, well, actually, two questions. Before we wrap up with my final question that I always ask, are you gonna have a cinnamon roll after? Like, what are you gonna have after your show? Like, it doesn't matter whether it's show or a challenge. Like, I'm already thinking about what I'm having tomorrow on my refuel. So, what are you thinking that you're gonna have in 5 weeks? I know you've given a lot of thought.
So definitely cinnamon roll. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest. The past week, I have been look. I actually think I told you this in our last check-in. I see food now, or I'll smell food and I get angry. I'm like, why am I angry? Like, I want that so badly. And cinnamon rolls is definitely the number one trigger for me. So post show, I'm going to have a cinnamon roll, 110%. As far as like dinner, what I'm going to have for dinner, food, whatever, I don't know. Like, I do not know. I don't know if I want a burger. I don't know if I want pasta. I don't know if I want steak. Like, no clue. But whatever I eat, you have to come with me and you have to eat it with me.
Oh, plan. It's
We don't
perfect.
have to
On a
cross the line.
Saturday. That's great. And but I think part of it, like, don't get me wrong, like there's no doubt, like especially because that last week, we kind of tightened it up quite a bit. You're gonna have like what you want, but the truth is because you're not deprived, like as you're talking, I'm thinking, well, you've been having steak on your plan. So, it's not like you're really deprived. Your pasta, we've got our game-changing, like approved prep pasta. So that's the thing is like when you have these in there, it's different than somebody who's having this conversation that's deprived. All they can think about is everything when we're just like, I don't really know where I'm going to be in that time.
That's a good point because like I would say I'm not really craving like restaurant like food, right? What I'm craving is so random. Like I want a rice cake with almond butter and bananas and honey. I want a yogurt, like Greek yogurt with like strawberries and blueberries and honey. Like those are the things that I'm craving. Or
Which
like,
is you eat now though, right? So it's like, but maybe just more of it. Like that was me. I want lots of vegetables because we strip them down that last week. And I
yeah.
wanted a jar of peanut butter. Like just give me the spoon and I just want to have what I want to have. And I wanted wine. Like that was what I wanted. And that was pretty much what I had every single show.
Yes. Like I am not craving like these crazy things. It's just like our just like good, clean, fun foods.
Ah, so good. I love that. That's so good. That's huge. It's not like the
Mhm.
greasy, stuff. So, oh, this is just opening up so many doors, as you said. So, last question is, me, I'm mantra queen, like all the thing, like, but that's truly been what has set me up for success is like having these little nuggets in my head that get me out of bed, that keep me going, that, tell me to just start fresh tomorrow. Like, so what
Mhm.
would you say is your, like, if you just leaving everyone with a mantra that's really helping you? I'm sure you have a million, but there's probably one that kind of speaks a little bit louder. What is
Mhm.
that mantra that like is really like on repeat that's getting you out of bed that's like your bestie?
The consistent one that I probably tell myself almost every single day is this is where we push. Like
Ugh.
that is literally what I tell myself. This is where we push because yesterday I was on the treadmill, did not want to be there, not at all. I was like, I could lower my speed. I could slow it down a little bit. Nope, let me go up 2.2 speed and this is where I'm going to push because this is what's going to make me better. This is what's going to set me aside from everyone else. This is where we push.
Ooh, that's good. That reminds me of the Volare slogan that we have that says "Go Beyond." It's
Mm-hmm.
exactly that. It's like like this is where you go beyond. Like that place where you think you can't push anymore. This is
Mm-hmm.
where you push. And it's the difference between like killing yourself. Like I mean, we know the difference. We're not
Yeah,
talking
of
pushing
course.
past like crazy limits, but we're saying like so much of it is in our mind of like I don't want to do this, and then this is where you push. This is where
Mhm.
you go beyond that little thing, and then you all of a sudden get like a second, like a burst of energy. It's like it's crazy. You got to
Yeah,
push beyond that threshold.
100%. And that has truly been game changer for me. And it honestly just kind of sets me on fire a little bit. I'm like, yeah, go Danielle, you can do this.
Oh, that's so good, Danielle.
Yep.
I see that as like a future tattoo in some way.
This is where we push. I'm going to say that when I'm like giving birth. This is where we push.
Oh, it's gonna roll over into every area of your life. This is where we push.
I love that. Oh
Oh,
my God.
that's so great. Okay. Well, what I would do is I would go and I would be like, what is push in Italian? And then we're gonna put like whatever that is, probably something very beautiful. It's gonna have a deep meaning to you of just like push it. Like you got this, girl. Like at the end of the day, right?
I actually love that. That's such a good idea. I might get that tattoo post show. I'm like,
Of
Gina.
something along those lines, that just kind of reminds you of where you are. And it's the beautiful thing. This is why I love the mantras. It's like they're your own. Like that's your own. That's created from you, and that's what's going to motivate you, not what somebody else says. Even with me, like maybe what I say can help motivate you to a degree, but your
Hmm.
own words are the things that are actually going to push you past your limits. So
Yeah.
that's so powerful. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. Thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your journey. And we're gonna have to have like this is season one. We're gonna come back for season two, which is like coming up maybe. Yeah, we're gonna do season two, we're gonna do season three, we're gonna do season like 10. Because this
Yeah.
journey, like you are everything packaged up of just like setting those bricks that you talked about and then where it's gonna lead. And I'm just so grateful to have been a part of your journey to see you through. I mean, it's been what, like, has it been 4 years?
I'm pretty sure we started in 21. I think it was 21.
Wow. So just to see, like I've seen, the different shades and to see, because I know you're feeling yourself kind of blooming and blossoming, but I'm like seeing it from the outside, like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you love to send me my little reminders of how far I've come because it's so easy to forget where you started to like where you are now. And yeah, you have definitely changed my life and I'm very grateful for that.
Danielle, thank you. I'm just so grateful to be here with you. So we didn't come this far to only come this far. We're gonna push. We're gonna keep pushing.
This is
And then
where we push.
what is it?
This is where we push.
This is where we push, literally 5 weeks. This is where we push. And then yeah, to be continued. Dot dot dot.
Hmm.
All right, girl. Well, thanks again, and we'll all be following you now that everyone can put all my stories and Dexas and all the things to a face and a story. So
Yeah.
we got this, girl. It's gonna be fun. All right, have the best day ever, and we will connect real soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.